proud of myself for that, actually. Spoiler alert, almost all of those fears came true. It's scary to travel in another country on your own. It is. Do I know what I'm gonna do after that? No. Got yelled at work. It was not worth it. And it was, again, so surreal. Like, Korea had lost its magic to me. I was feeling really lonely at that time. That's what real working Korea is like. I hate it. That's cozy, right? Not too shabby, right? I think this is the right angle that we need for this video. I don't even know how to start. Wow, I have so much to say, but I don't even know what to say at the same time. Hi guys, yo, what's up, Cherie here, and today I'm just gonna be talking about the past year in Korea because I've officially been in Korea for 1 year. Yay! I reached my like 1 year anniversary in Korea this past Wednesday. It's Friday as I'm filming this video right now. And yeah, usually I don't film videos on Fridays in the sunlight because I'm working, but it is Chuseok break right now, so I actually have the time to film when it's actually nice outside, so that's great. But yeah, I've officially been here for a year. And I'm just gonna talk about my experience and how I'm feeling and maybe a little bit about the future with you guys. So yeah, this is gonna be a more like personal video. We're gonna get into some really interesting topics, but I'm glad that you guys are here. And we're just gonna go ahead and like get started. So yeah. By the way, for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Cherie. I'm 25. I'm an English teacher in Korea and I've been here for a year. And I also like making content on YouTube. It's like my passion. So yeah, let's be friends. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? The other day I was looking through my old journal from last year. Yeah, it's so cute, right? I love this journal. I wrote it in here from May 5th, 2021 to September 6th, 2021. I flew over here September 7th, so yeah. And this was honestly, so much in here was just really sad. I was dealing with a lot of hard times, so we'll get into that later. But I did just want to like preface this video, start this video out kind of you knowing my mindset coming into Korea. As like backstory, everybody, February 2021 was when I decided that I wanted to come over here to Korea and teach English that fall, so September 2021. And it was like such a process to figure that out. Also, I was dealing with a lot in my life. Like I was moving around a lot. I didn't know what was like going on. I was kind of in a bad relationship, so I wasn't in like the best state of my life, but I knew I wanted to come here in the fall. And I was like the only person who could make that happen. Like my parents were supportive, but they didn't know anything. They didn't know how I could get over here. Nobody really knew. I had to do all this research on my own because I'd never come over here to teach English before. And I was just, yeah, there was a lot going on. I did post a few videos about the process and how much went into it, which is insane. And just like figuring everything out. It was a lot of stress and anxiety to like figure out, especially if you're going the hagwon route, which I went the hagwon route. So there was a lot of stuff going on, but I was like so determined to come here. Like it honestly had become like my dream because I missed Korea so much and I really wanted to come here and be able to live here and see what it would be like and film content for you guys, and because I love content creation, and I also am pretty good at teaching. I have quite a few years of experience teaching, and so I was like, this seems like a really good idea, and I was like so dedicated to doing it. But I don't think you guys realize like how scared I was to do it. I had so many fears. I even posted a video about like my fears about coming to Korea, and spoiler alert, almost all of those fears came true actually within the first few months of me being here, but we'll get into that later. So I was really scared to come over here. I was worried about everything going wrong. I was worried about being lonely. I was worried about having a terrible hagwon experience. I was worried that I would just like live to work instead of work to live. Like I just did not want my hagwon life to become like my life and not have time to like have fun and enjoy Korea. And I had so many of these fears, but I still went for it. And I was like, no, we're doing this. Like we are facing this fear, Cherie, and we are going to Korea, which is what you wanted to do ever since you left. And so, because I studied abroad here and then I left in 2017. Yeah. Anyway, so a few years later, I was like, it's time for me to come back. And I want to read you guys this quick journal entry. I will be reading a few small journal entries in this video because I think, like, I want you guys to be able to see what my mind was like instead of me just telling you. Like, I think it's my words from a year ago are probably more impactful. So hopefully you're okay with that. So I'm just gonna read small sections of this. So yeah, this was September 6th, 2021. So literally the night before I went on my flight to Korea. So I said, I can't believe I'm going to Korea so soon. I can't believe it's actually happening. It honestly feels strange. I feel all of these weird emotions. Earlier, I went to the airport and checked in and everything, and what I brought to check in was perfect. My COVID test was perfect. I'm so relieved, honestly. It was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, you know? So yeah. But now that it's later and I'm getting tired, I feel weirdly melancholy and just really like, wow, this is actually happening. I'm actually moving halfway across the world. It's insane. And I'm honestly scared. I am, but I usually get this way before trips, so I really shouldn't be surprised. I feel kind of frozen with fear right now. And then this is the last page of my journal, and I say, gosh, so much has happened in the duration of this journal. Like a lot, so much, it's insane really. I faced a lot of my fears, experienced a lot of growth, and a plethora of different emotions, and now here I am about to fly out to Korea and actually move there. Long term, something I've thought of doing since January. Part of me doesn't feel ready for this next adventure, but another part of me knows that it's time, and I need to jump into this fear, and see the reward that awaits me in Korea. So overdramatic, Cherie, but that's how I am. I was feeling a lot of emotions before coming here, and I was just so worried and so concerned. Like, I was so excited, but again, I was really scared. So if you're in my situation that I was in a year ago, don't worry, I think those emotions are normal. And then I flew here and everything, and you know, I had to quarantine for 2 weeks because that was when we had to do all the testing, all the quarantine, all that stuff, because COVID was still a really big deal. The first 4 months of me being in Korea, I was at a different hagwon than I am now. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit, because I said that most of my fears about coming to Korea came true. And it was during those first 4 months that they came true. September through December last year was a struggle, bless you guys. It was so hard. Like, I had so many issues, honestly, because my first hagwon was not a good one. It was so just like not a good environment for me. I got yelled at work for things that like weren't even my fault. I was constantly being like watched while I was teaching and being told what I need to do better, being corrected like in front of my students. Every morning in October, I woke up and I would like get emotional or almost cry. Like sometimes I did cry like before going to work because I was just like so scared to go because I didn't know what they were gonna tell me I was doing wrong next door, because like there was just so much anxiety that I felt every time I went to work. And it wasn't just me, like the other coworkers were also like not okay with it. Like we weren't being treated okay at work, basically. We were not being treated okay. We did not have enough breaks at work at all. Like we did not have the time to prepare everything that we needed to. So my schedule was 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. And most days, almost every day actually, I was able to go home at 6. But the actual working from 9 to 6 was so intense. There was so much going on. I didn't have time to do anything, even like breathe or think. And even during lunchtimes, like I was with the students or preparing materials for the next class because that was the only time that I had to prepare. I'm not gonna get into like too many details, but like it was a really bad work situation for me personally. I could not handle it. Just like the hostility of the environment was not good for me. I had to make this decision really early on of like whether I was gonna stay there or get a new hagwon. And I've been in Korea for like 2 months at this point. Like it was in October that I was having these thoughts. And my family, they were like, you know, maybe it's just, you know, you're adjusting to your new work life and things will get better in time, like give it some time. But I just like, I didn't want to. Like, I don't know, I did feel like so weak for like starting and then wanting to like move on to a different job so easily, but I also feel like I knew in my heart that my job was literally like sucking my soul away from me and my happiness and my joy, and it was not worth it. So in October, I think it was October or the very beginning of November, I had to go to immigration because I had to get my ARC. I had to do my ARC appointment, my alien registration card. And I was on the bus, I'd woken up really early and I was like going, and everything in my appointment went well and stuff. And like, as I was just like on the bus ride back to my job, I basically had this realization where I'm like, I'm only 24 in Korea once in my life. And this is the perfect time of my life to completely get away from a crappy job and to find a new one and to just go on this crazy adventure. I don't need to do like the thing that everybody else would do, like just like stay in the hagwon environment, just like suffer, but you know it's probably for the best, like whatever, like just dealing with it. No, I was like, this is the time to not deal with it. This is the time to not be practical and safe in my life. I'm not like, you know, older and married and have kids or whatever. Like this is the time of my life to like choose happiness for myself, even if it looks weird or not good to other people. And I had like this huge like experience on the bus, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put in my 40-day notice. I think it was 40 days. I was like, I'm putting it in, like it's happening. And I'd only been there for like, only been actually working for like a month and a half. But I was like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not. And I think that was a really big moment for me because it was me kind of like choosing happiness for myself. And I'm like really proud of myself back then that I was able to do that because it was honestly like the best decision that I could have done at that time. So a few weeks later, I finally had the courage to tell my supervisor that I'd put in my 40 days notice and I was leaving and getting a new job. And they tried to guilt trip me to stay, all that stuff, but I stuck to my decision. And somehow I managed to get a letter of release from them. And one of my coworkers had a really good recruiter that was able to help me get a new job in Korea. And I honestly did not have a lot of time either. I literally had like 40 days to figure everything out to get a new job and everything. So it was like, I was like, this might not happen, but I'm gonna do my best to make it happen. Like I was like, I can do this. God can help me, and he did, because the recruiter I got was really helpful. I had 8 job interviews actually within like 24 hours, and I got through all of them within a week, and then I was able to decide which one. Like, so all this process happened within like, I would say a week and a half to 2 weeks, me figuring out where my new job was gonna be. And I have a whole video about like my whole process of transitioning that I posted, that YouTube video, so yeah, I'll put it up here somewhere so you can check it out if you would like to. But those first 4 months were so tough. Like, I was so sad, you guys. Like, I was pretty far away from all of my friends. I was really lonely, honestly, most days. I was really anxious at work, and then I just got tired at home. Like, the only thing that really brought me joy at the time was YouTube. Like, that was the only thing. YouTube was, like, so good to me at that time, and just, like, talking to you guys and posting content, and I don't know, just, like, doing YouTube. That was like the one thing that helped me really a lot during that time. But yeah, I got a new job, had the most lonely Christmas in the world because I worked until the 24th, you know. That was my last day. The 25th, I was all alone in my apartment crying, yeah. And then like the next day was church and I had to just pack and move out by the 27th. So yeah, most lonely Christmas of my life, and I couldn't even enjoy the holidays really because I was so stressed with work and getting a new job and stuff. So overall, like those first 4 months were so hard. But looking back, I'm actually really thankful for them because they really helped me to develop into a strong person. And like, I'm not saying like I didn't just suffer for forever, you know, like I did choose happiness for myself, but as I was getting to that point, all the struggles that I dealt with, I really feel like they helped me a lot. Like I was able to stand up for myself. I knew what I deserved. I'm at a job. I wasn't gonna let anybody push me around. And I don't know, I just was able to work through a lot of things. So all of my real fears that I had about Korea came true those first 4 months. Like almost every single one. Like Korea had lost its magic to me, I guess, and I was just like really sad. I was like, is this what real working Korea is like? I hate it. And then I ended up at my amazing hagwon that I'm at now. So, you know, like good days still come after the hard ones, you know, the sun still rises in the morning, you know. So I ended up at this amazing hagwon that's amazingly in Seoul, nearby a lot of my friends, and I'm so blessed. All right, so this year, 2022, you know how I rang in the new year? Alone in my apartment crying. I did not have many friends at that point. Like, I really didn't have that many friends in Korea with me. And it was also in the midst of COVID and everything, so I was just home. And I was pretty sad. And I actually remember, I always say a prayer to God in the beginning of the new year, right? So like around midnight. And in this prayer specifically, I remember I asked God to bring good people into my life this year. Because I was feeling really lonely at that time. Why am I getting emotional? I don't know, but I felt really lonely the end of December last year, and like loneliness to me is like one of the worst feelings. It's really hard to deal with. So I prayed so hard that like God would bring good people into my life this year, and oh my gosh, boy did he deliver. Like later that week, Natalia messaged me. We hadn't even really met at that point. Natalia messaged me and was like, hey Cherie, you want to meet up? And I was like, oh my gosh, God is answering my prayers. Yes. And a lot of you guys know Natalia and I are like besties now. We tight. We're good friends. Natalia, if you don't know, she has a YouTube channel too, and she's amazing. And we've been friends online for a while, but we first met in January. I also met kind of met online, one of my best friends, Veronice, as well by the end of January. And just a lot of amazing people ended up in my life. I think I met Janaea at that time too. Janaea was one of my good church friends. She was exchanged student here, so she's gone now, but we're still really close actually. We still message. Yeah, like this year I've gotten so many friends. And like the last time I had this many friends was maybe when I was like in college or something. Like, years ago. So it's just felt so nice to like have that, yeah, to have that support here in Korea. God really answered my prayers. So like this year has been really good for like my social life. Thank goodness. I haven't really felt that lonely. Like I definitely have like my moments, but that was really improved starting January. And at the end of January, I took a trip to Sokcho. It was my first solo trip in Korea. I was like so worried about it because I don't know, it's scary to travel in another country on your own. It is like, and I had never really done it in Korea before. It's something I'd always wanted to do, but I never did it. So I pushed through that fear and I made a video about that as well. It's one of my all-time favorite videos. It's got the emotion, you know? And I went to Sokcho and I had the most amazing trip ever, and it was a fantastic solo trip. And that led me to honestly just start traveling so much in Korea. Like I went so many different places this year and I filmed most of it. But this year alone, I went to Busan, I went to Damyang, I went to Sokcho, I went to Gwangju, I went to Incheon, I went to Daegu, and I went to Suwon. I've traveled a lot this year, and that's something I never really saw like, it's something that I always dreamed of myself doing, you know, traveling and filming content and stuff in Korea, but it's something that was so hard for me to make a reality because I was so scared. But taking that first initial step to go to Sokcho was like so beneficial for me, and it proved to me that I can do hard things, so that was really good. I've grown a lot when it comes to like being independent this year, and I'm really proud of myself for that actually. And again, I've had the most amazing friends. I met Noelle, one of my best friends in Gwangju, and I've been to Gwangju so many times now, and I also, like, I have Gwangju friends now too. Like Soleil, if you're watching this, I love you, you're amazing. Soleil and Noelle are really good friends. Okay, so I was doing really good January, February, but February, oh my gosh, guys, something that you don't really know. This year I got so stressed. I got so stressed out with so many things. Like I got so busy because I was traveling a lot, I was filming all this content, everything was going great, I had some sponsorships, it was a good time, but like in February, I got so sick that I had to like come home from work early because I almost threw up. So yeah, stressful times happened a lot. I almost like forget it now because it's almost like blurred out because it was so stressful. So February I was actually really sick. And then for most of March I was okay. That's when I went to Busan and Gwangju. And at the end of March I got COVID. So I had to quarantine for a week because I had COVID. Most of April, I feel like I kind of experienced like long COVID symptoms. Yeah, I was like honestly quite sick. I didn't realize it at the time, but my allergy medicine was also giving me headaches like every day. Yeah, I've stopped taking my allergy medicine now and I'm good now. But yeah, I did experience like a lot of sickness in March and April, which whatever, it's fine. And then the cherry blossoms came out and I was happy. And my birthday came. I turned 25 here in Korea. I went to Gwangju for the weekend of it, and then my actual birthday was on Monday. I hung out with Janaea and that was such a good time. It was like the best birthday I think I could have had in Korea, and it was again so surreal just to hang out with my friends, go to noraebang, travel somewhere even to visit my friends. It was really good. May and June were stressful for personal reasons. I'm just like thinking back on everything that happened like the past few months in particular. So like after my birthday, things were crazy. Like so crazy. I had a personal thing that I'm not gonna talk about, but something personal happened that like was stressful for me, but I got through it. It was difficult, but I got through it. And then I had like some sponsors that I was dealing with, and I ended up having a burnout at the end of July. You know, August also is me just like recovering from that burnout / existential crisis that I had, quarter life crisis, whatever you want to call it. And I also realized recently that like I had started to change my YouTube content to be more, I don't know, less me, I feel like, more just like, let's travel and take videos of pretty places, and less like, oh, this is me and my personality and my crazy life in Korea, and that's what I like. And so I've had to like restructure my channel or whatever, and I'm trying to post more like content that just feels good to me and just is very much my style. So I'm hoping that you guys are liking that. And just like here we are now, it's September and life is crazy. Life is so crazy. Like this past year in Korea, so much happened, both good and bad. Like a lot has changed in my head since I first got here. Like I've gotten really sick this year. I've had some stressful times in my personal life. I've been burnt out in my head. I haven't known what's coming in the future. I've been so concerned. But also, I've had the most amazing friends. I've had the most insane experiences that were only dreams in my head before I came here. And I honestly feel like so close to myself right now. Like I feel like, I don't know, this is like, I don't know, I feel like last year was a lot of me figuring myself out, and I don't know, I'm just like proud of how far I've come and with the person that I'm becoming. And I'm just like so thankful that I'm able to be here in Korea. Like, yeah, Korea is not perfect, for sure. It has its issues, for sure. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I've found so much joy here in Korea. And again, I've grown and developed so much here, and I'm just like so thankful for being able to be here, because I know it's such a privilege, and the hagwon that I'm at is amazing, and I literally have the best friends in the world, like the best in the entire world. And I don't know, I feel so loved this year by God and by everyone around me, and it's been so good. So even the hard days that I've had, like, I think have ultimately helped me. I don't know, I'm getting all gushy and sentimental now. I don't know. Like all last summer, like my journal is just filled with me being like trying so hard to like do my best every day, but just continually not being happy and having a lot of issues, and it was like really difficult. I was going through a lot last summer, and honestly, since I graduated in 2019, I had so like 2020, 2021, just I felt like I kept on trying to do well in life, and I just kept failing. And so the whole career thing, I wanted it so badly, but my mind was telling me like, well, Cherie, you failed so much in your life before, so how do you think it's actually gonna happen for you now? And so for those of you who have that same mindset or feel that same way that I felt last summer, I feel for you. That was me. I felt hopeless and scared and so nervous about the future. I was so terrified of it, and I wanted things so badly, but they just it did not seem like it was gonna work out logically. Like it just did not. And I felt kind of trapped in where I was, but I wanted to break free and like go for my dream so badly. It was so hard for me to see hope in the future. So for you who doesn't feel that hope for the future, I just want to tell you not to give up. Okay? Keep going. The sun will always rise. Even if you go through a few years of hard times, the things that are coming for you are so good, and they're gonna be worth the struggle, okay? Wow, this video did not end up being what I was expecting. It became a lot more sentimental than I thought. A lot less Korea focused than I thought. I'm so sorry if you came just to hear about Korea life and stuff. It was a lot more just about my evolution through the past year. But overall, living in Korea it's been such a good time. It's been so fun and so crazy, and like I've had the most insane experiences, again, good and bad, but I'm so happy with where I've ended up. I have 4 months left of my teaching contract. Do I know what I'm gonna do after that? No, I don't. I want to stay here. So we'll see what ends up happening for me. So that's my little hint on the future. It's not big, but I do definitely want to stay here. I love it here. I love living here and experiencing life here, and I don't know, I just feel like it's a good place for me right now. And I love making content here. I love connecting with you guys here. I love my friends here, and I love life here. I've fallen in love with life again this past year, and it's just all I could ask for. My joyful days are so much more than my sad days, and even though that's a pretty sad down days here, and it's hard like living in Korea on your own and having to deal with everything. It's like hard to deal with all the cultural differences, all the work, because work is hard, and all of the like YouTube for me, and just everything. Like it's hard for me to handle and balance everything, and I've made mistakes and I've failed over the past year like a few times, but I'm learning and growing and becoming a better person, and that's all that we could ask for. And I'm happy, and it feels really good. So that is my last year in Korea. That's how I feel 1 year into Korea. I don't know if have you guys seen any changes in me the past year, or like has anything happened? Like I don't know. Sorry if this was a little bit more like personal of a video, not like as informational as maybe you wanted. I was thinking of making a video potentially about the pros and cons of living in Korea since I've been here for a year. I don't know. Let me know. I literally just rambled in front of a camera for a whole hour. I hope I came up with some good things to say. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Having sort of a sentimental morning, you guys. Just reading my old journals and stuff. I feel like God's trying to show me that things will always eventually work out in the way that they're supposed to, in the best way. And sometimes the best way isn't what we think is the best way. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being on this journey with me, for being with me this past year. It means a lot because I am like on my own in Korea, and it's been so nice to show you guys what's up with my life here, with what I'm dealing with, and to get all your DMs and messages and support. Like, you guys are part of the reason I've had such a good time in Korea, and doing YouTube has been one of the most fun things for me to do here, and I genuinely adore it. Like, I love doing it. Yeah, it's been so much fun to share my life with you guys here. Thank you guys so much for actually enjoying the content that I put out. And yeah, I'm excited for you to be on this journey with me, no matter when you've subscribed or not. Thank you guys so much for this past year. And I feel like I'm like ending YouTube right now. I'm not ending YouTube. I'm gonna continue. We've just started, guys, but like, I just want to say thank you, and life is good, and God is so good, and I am so excited to see what the future brings. So yeah, this past year, good, complete, finished, and this next year is gonna be epic, I can tell. And I'm excited for you guys to be with me for it. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna get going. I have some things to do today, some places to be, some vlogging to do. Yeah, I'm gonna vlog today too. But I hope that you guys have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Be sure to thumbs up this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this and you want to follow along with my journey. And comment below any questions you might have for me, or any of your own personal experiences with living in Korea, or wanting to come here, or something like that, or your dreams. If you want to comment on your dream, that would be so cool. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon with another video. You guys are amazing. Love you. Okay, see you soon. Bye.